Hello, guys. So for tomorrow's lesson, we are going to focus on translation specifically. So as you can remember, yesterday we defined translations, rotations, reflections, and a translation is when the shape slides. It looks the exact same, it's just in a different place now. So for our notes today, a translation moves every point of a figure the same distance and the same direction. A translation can move a figure up and down and or left and right. And translations are also thought of as slides. So you're just sliding the shape. Okay. So this says record the coordinates of the pre-image and image in the table. So yesterday I slightly talked about the difference between our pre-image and our image. The pre-image is our original shape, where the image is the shape after it has been moved. And you can tell the difference here by this little mark next to these letters. This little mark is called the prime symbol. So this is called I prime, J prime, G prime, H prime. So this here is our pre-image. And this one is our image. So I want to write the points for my pre-image. So G, I, H, and J. So point G is over 2 and down 7. So point G is 2, comma, negative 7. Nope, I mixed up my H and I. This should be H, then I, then J. Okay, H is here. I went over 2 and down 1. So this point is 2, comma, negative 1. Our point I is over 5 and down 1. So this is 5, comma, negative 1. Now point J down here, we went over 5 and down 7 to get to J. So this is 5, comma, negative 7. Our image point are G prime, H prime, I prime, and J prime is all the points from the image shape. So G prime is right here. I have to go over 5 and down 3. And I went over to the left to the negative 5. So this is negative 5, negative 3. My H prime up here, I went over 5 and up 3. So this is negative 5, negative 3. My my I prime is here. So this is over 2 and up 3, over to the negative 2. Oh, this should be a positive 3, guys. Notice that I accidentally put a negative 3 here. That should be a positive 3 because I went up 3. So this is negative 2, positive 3 because I went up 3. And then J is over 2 to the left to negative 2 and down to negative 3. So this is negative 2, negative 3. Okay. So the verbal description of the translation. So we need to figure out like what actually happened when I'm describing the movements. Like I can see that this shape moved to the left and went up. So if I look at my point G to my point G prime, these are corresponding points because they're the same point, G to G prime. So I'm looking at my corresponding points. I want to go see how far did this shape move over to the left and how far did this shape go up. So to go from G to G prime, I went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So down here, the shape translated to the left 7 units. And it also went up. So now we have to see how far it went up. So from here, it went up 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So it went over 7 and up 4. Now the algebraic representation of the translation. So this is actually looking at the points themselves. So if we look at our x for here, we can look at any of these. Okay, so let's just look at h, for example. My x value to go from 2 over to -5, that is subtracting 7. 2 minus 7 gives me -5. If I'm going from looking at my y now, if I'm going from -1 to +3, -1 to +3 is +4. -1 plus 4 gives me +3. So that's where this here actually comes in. My going left and right affects the x-axis. Going up and down affects the y-axis. So this is actually saying I'm taking my original point, x and y, my original point, and it is becoming my x's all subtracted 7. So even if I look at j, 5 minus 7 gives me -2. So x minus 7 is what happens. That's what happens when you move left. When you move left, you're subtracting from your x. And my y, it went up 4. So because I went up 4 units, my y values went up by 4. -7 plus 4 is -3. So plus 4. So then it says, what do you notice about the line segments in the pre-image and the image? Did they change size? If we look from G to H, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. If we look at G prime to H prime, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. Same if I go G to H, 1, 2, 3 units. G prime to J prime, 1, 2, 3 units. So the line segments stay the same length. So if I go back over to this one, I'm not going to fill out this right now. I'm just going to focus on this verbal description because that's a big thing that we're going to focus on in this unit is verbally describing what happened to these shapes. So notice I have LK in M and L prime, K prime, N prime, M prime. These have the little prime symbol there. So if I want to see how it translated, I'm looking at my pre-image and seeing how it moved to here. So I'm looking at my corresponding points, K to K prime. I want to see how far did it go down and how far did it go over. And I'm going to count that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So down 9. And this went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I think I may have miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this went to the right 9. So when I go to write the verbal description, write the complete sentence, I'm going to say the shape translated to the right 9 units and down 9 units. Algebraically, if I take my original points, the way it should look whenever I go to the right, that's going to add to my x because I'm going positive on my x-axis. Whenever I go down, that's going to subtract from my y because I'm going down my y-axis. So this would become x plus 9, y minus 9. So looking down here, describe the transformation. This is not giving us a transformation, it's giving us the points. So if I'm going from 12 to -1, 12 to -1, that means I'm going down. So 12 down to -1, I would do that. If you don't know what that is, I would want to do -1 minus 12. -1 minus 12 is -13. So my x was -13. My y went from 7 up to 14. So again, I'm going to take my image and subtract it from the pre-image. If I do 14 minus 7, that gives me 7. So this went up 7, or a positive change of 7. So it'd be y plus 7. So what does that mean? On my x-axis, if I'm going negative, that means I'm going to the left. On my y-axis, if it's positive, that means I'm going up. So this shape, this translation was left 13 units and up 7 units. Okay. If you took this paper home with you, I want to see if you can try 6 and 7 and just attempt it. If you are like struggle with it or get stuck, just try something. I want to see kind of like what you get from this. Okay? And if you're still struggling with it, maybe graph it on a graph if that's helpful. Okay, if you guys have any questions, let me know, and we're going to continue to work on this when I see you tomorrow.